Hi guys, welcome back to my next guitar lesson. Get your kombucha for this one. And today we're going to talk about chord diagrams. Up until this point, I've talked about basic, getting into, or novice foundations to start your journey playing guitar. So I've talked about playing position, right hand, left hand, a few different exercises to get your fingers moving in that direction. I've talked about guitar picks and my technique and how you can approach using a guitar pick. I've talked about functional guitar, which is just learning chords and singing. And today we're going to talk about chord diagrams, which are necessary for functional guitar. After this video, I'm going to post another video talking about the future of this series and where things are headed. But for now, we're just going to stick to chord diagrams, how to read them, why they're important. So if you're handed a piece of music and it has a bunch of diagrams at the top, well, if you're handed a piece of music and you're expected to play it, one aspect of it is you'll see diagrams at the top that show you what chords to play over what measures. Or if you're in a fake book, it will often have chord diagrams. Or if you look up a tab to your favorite song, it will usually tell you the names of the chords. And you need to know how to utilize those chords with a chord diagram, or to learn a specific chord if you're not given a chord diagram. And that's why it's important. So I'm going to go over two chords. In my last video, I went over a bunch of chords that I said could get you pointed in the right direction as far as learning functional guitar. And I've left out two chords that I think you should also learn. I'm going to use those two chords as examples in this video. They are E7 and A7. E dominant 7, A dominant 7. Excuse me. If you want to learn more about why they're called that, I do talk about it briefly in one of my music theory videos, so you can go ahead and watch that. It's a video about scale degrees and nomenclature. It doesn't go into a whole lot of depth because that's building on other things and going in a different direction. Or you can message me directly, and I will be more than happy to describe why they are called the names that they are called. But for now, we're just going to talk about the mechanical portions of it and how to read the diagram. So if you look up here, I have A7 already written out. And first we will go over the different parts of the chord diagram. So this is showing a section of the fretboard. In this particular case, the nut is this black line at the top, which would be this portion of the guitar. So all of the horizontal lines after this portion on the diagram are the frets. The vertical lines represent strings. The black circles represent where to put your fingers. And these numbers on the side represent frets. Sometimes you'll get that, sometimes you won't, because it's not really necessary, but sometimes people want it to be very specific, so they put that on there. Same goes with fingerings. You might see the fingerings of the places where you need to put your fingers. Sometimes you won't, because it's either implied that you know what fingers to use, or the fingering is left up to you to figure out. So at the top you'll see an X, that means don't play that string, and a circle means open strings, meaning you don't press the string down at all. It's open. And that is the basic overview of the chord diagram. This is how the A7 chord sounds. Don't play the top string. Fifth string open, second fret open, second fret open. I'll give you one more example. Which is E7, E dominant 7. Similar fashion, name of the chords written at the top. Circles represent open strings. Vertical lines represent the strings. Horizontal lines represent the frets. Black dots represent where to put your fingers. This is what E sound sounds like. Open, second fret, open, first fret, open, open. And that is how to read chord diagrams. Sometimes you might see at the top line you might see a number. It says 5 or 5th, or there's a Roman numeral. And that tells you that this top fret is the 5th fret and not the first fret. So this would be 5, 6, 7, 8. Instead of 1, 2, 3, 4. Sometimes you'll see that. And that's it. There are different some chord diagrams look different than others, and you might see some small differences between them, but for the most part, that is what a chord diagram is. Alright guys, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.